warming planet and warmer air over the Pacific, say researchers, may be altering the weather patterns that bring rain to East Africa.
Despite the challenge of living in camps, internally displaced children in Nigeria's northeast still get a good shot at achieving their dream of education with donated books and supplies from the army.
And some promising news on Guinea worm, which may be on its way out thanks to the work of a charity founded by a former U.S. president. Africa 54 starts right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Chamberlain Oso at Channels Television here in Lagos. Welcome to our show. We'll be taking you around the continent and bring you a variety of stories from across Africa.
And I'm Vincent McCory, Voice of America, coming to you from our global headquarters in Washington.
Well, children in camps for internally displaced persons in Nigeria's northeast may not be having the happiest of childhood days, but they still stand a chance of achieving some of their dreams. To ensure these children get a good education, the leadership of the Nigerian Army has donated instructional materials, including books, to schools in 3 IDP camps in Adamawa State. Channels Television's Freedom Haslan compiled that report.
Life is clearly different for people living in IDP camps in northeast Nigeria, including thousands of children compared to those in other parts of the world. But here inside the walls of this classroom, it's a semblance of a typical day at school. Through the power of education, bad memories of Boko Haram attacks are gradually being replaced by the joy of learning. An instructor deployed by the Nigerian Army to teach the children attests to the progress made so far.
When we came here, these were people that when you see them, you know they have passed through hell. But they have been reformed in a very great way. They have changed. There's a lot of transformation in them now.
In addition to classroom instructors, the leadership of the Nigerian Army also supports the children's education with the provision of educational material, including books, mathematical sets, and writing boards to schools in 3 IDP camps in Adamawa State.
I wish to express my profound gratitude to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Yusuf Ratai, and the Acting Commander, Nigerian Army Corps of Education, Brigadier General Lawa Faskari Abdullahi, for the donation of these instructional materials, which I stand here to present officially to the 3 internally displaced persons camps, namely Fovore, Malkoi, and the National Youth Service IDP camp in Damari.
Officials of the National Emergency Management Agency in charge of IDP camps know firsthand the amount of work that goes into catering for the needs of the displaced persons. The Adamawa State Coordinator commends the force for their continued support for the children.
Today, we are again witnessing another round of support from the Nigerian Army Education Corps towards providing education for the internally displaced persons children who are resident in the formal camps.
The goal of education is to secure a child's future. For parents here, getting a helping hand in educating their children is well received.
First of all, when we left home when the incidents happened, we were from this bush to that bush, sleeping under trees. There was no food for us. There was no shelter to live. We thank God the army brought us to the camp and settled us. They still remembered us and create a school for our children. Most of these our children in the camp, some have never attempted school before, but now they can even read, write in English.
11 IDP pupils were selected to participate in the common entrance examinations into junior secondary schools in the 2016-2017 academic session, and all 11 of them passed with good grades, proving that while the learning conditions may leave a lot to be desired, the continuous support towards quality education for children in IDP camps could guarantee them a bright future.
Now, despite the recent kidnapping and killing of 2 of its employees in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the United Nations mission in the DRC continues its efforts to promote peace and stability in the country. Charles Bambara is with the United Nations Stabilization Mission in the DRC, known as MONUSCO. He joins us now via phone from Kinshasa. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Well, the deteriorating security situation in several parts of the DRC is indeed a major concern. What is MONUSCO doing to protect civilians and promote the observance of human rights?
Indeed, the latest UN Council Security Resolution 2348 is the number one priority of MONUSCO is really protection of civilians. So we have seen over the last few months an increase of the presence of MONUSCO on the ground in different provinces like Tanganyika province and Kasai province. And here in Kasai province, there were recently the killing of two of the UN staff there. And there are regularly some recurrent and evolving cycle of conflict and persistent violence by armed groups in that area. So from a dozen of peacekeepers in the Kasai province, for example, we have now an increased presence of police and the force presence in the Kasai just to take care of the protection of civilian mandate given to us by the Security Council. We are doing also a lot of military patrol on the ground, on day and night, of course, and we have increased the presence of the UN civilian ground, particularly, from a section like child protection and human rights section also.
There are those who see President Joseph Kabila's not relinquishing power as a ploy to hold on to some sort of control. What can MONUSCO do to ensure peaceful and credible elections hold in the country and in line with its mandate?
Indeed, the second priority given to us by the UN Security Council resolution, the latest one, is really to make sure that all the political parties implement the December 31st political agreement. And this is, of course, a hard job, knowing that there is a lot of differences, a lot of split within these political parties in DRC. But we have what we call our good office mandate, our good office tool. And the special representative of the Secretary General here in DRC, Mr. Mahman Sambou-Silikou, with his leadership team, is meeting all these political actors on the ground here to make sure they can agree on the political roadmap for the upcoming months up to December this year, because with the leadership of the bishop, Congolese Bishop Assembly called Senko here, all political parties were involved in this political agreement signed last year. So we now need to implement it. So we are calling upon all the political leaders to gather to make sure this roadmap can be implemented.
Well, speaking about which, election crisis is not the only issue impeding stability in the DRC. Poverty, corruption, poor access to justice and the education are some of the challenges which are also, if addressed, can guarantee stability. Is there enough attention being paid to such areas?
In fact, at MONUSCO, we are in charge mainly of protection of civilians and making sure we can accompany the political process. But MONUSCO is not only the UN agency on the ground. We have different UN agencies, 23 altogether present in DRC. It goes from UNESCO to WHO to UNICEF to UNFPA to UNDP, etc. So all these UN agencies are involved on the ground to improve, education, to improve health, to improve, development, etc., etc. So we are working as the one UN in this country in DRC to make sure, we can support the government in different things and to improve different area of the economy, the social aspect of this country. It is hard because the country at the dimension of the continent. But as I said, putting our effort together as the UN, we are slowly but certainly improving things on the ground.
All right, then Charles Bambara, Director of Public Information for the United Nations Mission in the DRC, we thank you for joining us today on Africa 54.
Thank you.